Hi, I'm Ollie. I'm a big, greasy dork with a fat, stupid cat. Hiya, Scoops.
What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. I believe it's time to start talking about indie animation once again. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about Ollie and Scoops. Ollie and Scoops is a bit different from the other indie shows I've been talking about, mainly because this is the first one that's not geared toward adults. It's more of a general audience cartoon. So I wanted to analyze it and give you my thoughts upon it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and buckle into our favorite school with our favorite talking cat that only we can understand. Let us jump into a trash can and go to an alternate dimension known as Catlifornia, I think it's called, where we get to hang out with all the other cool cats. And let's, of course, join them in smashing that like button. And let's dive into Ollie and Scoops. So, first things first, as we usually do on this channel, let's discuss the speed paint that I'm doing. So, I'm doing a little Calvin and Hobbes homage with Ollie and Scoops, mainly because when I first watched Ollie and Scoops, the duo reminded me greatly of Calvin and Hobbes, a little kid with her feline friend that only she can understand. And I mean, that just screams Calvin and Hobbes. Funnily enough, Nico Colaleo, the creator of Ollie and Scoops, said in an AMA that Calvin and Hobbes was actually a big inspiration for him. And I didn't watch that AMA until after drawing this picture, so I kind of caught the vibe going on that. So yeah, this crossover is very much warranted. So Ollie and Scoops. Ollie and Scoops is a series that you can watch on YouTube. In fact, I have the playlist down in the description box down below, as well as Nico's YouTube channel, Nico Animation. In this case, this is very much an indie project. This is something that he funded essentially by himself. He has a team that he works with. However, Nico Colaleo himself is not a full-on indie guy, as in like started from the bottom. As far as creating this show entirely independently. He currently works for, I believe, Netflix. He worked for Dreamworks. In fact, he had another show for Dreamworks that he made prior to cooking up Ollie and Scoops. According to his AMA, Ollie and Scoops originated as a pitch that he wanted to make for Nickelodeon, but Nickelodeon ultimately turned it down. And then he decided, well, after the other... Too Loud is the cartoon that he made for DreamWorks. After Too Loud, he decided that he wanted to go pursue Ollie and Scoops again, and this time he did it independently. So even though he does have industry connections and he does work in the industry, his cartoon, Ollie and Scoops, is made by his own chutzpah, so to speak. It's not something that's fronted by a studio. Because Ollie and Scoops has origins as something that was pitched for Nickelodeon, it is more geared toward children than some of the other projects I've discussed on this channel, like, the Has-Been Hotels and the Starbarians and, Max G's whole brain dump thing. And so when Nico Colaleo decided to pursue making Ollie and Scoops independently, he decided to keep the vibe, which, I understand. Once you have an idea, once it's kind of set in stone, it's hard to make hard alterations to it without kind of sacrificing its soul in order to attempt to engineer a new soul for it, so I can understand that. It's very what I really love about it is that even though it's more geared towards children, so it kind of has more of a like a cutesy hey ho vibe to it. It's able to sneak in some more clever jokes and a little more risque content, which I appreciate. Because once again, I'm going to be referring to Nico Colaleo AMA a lot in this video, because he said that one of the trade-offs of doing something independently versus doing something in studio is that if you do something with the studio is going to tell you if you can get away with certain things, because there are certain things that they will just not let you do if they are trying to make a product geared toward children. And so because he's producing Ollie and Scoops independently, he's able to get away with some other things. So it is kind of fun to see what a kid's cartoon would look like if it is made independently and is able to kind of break through the mold that otherwise it would be held to under the iron fist of a big studio. Another thing I admire about the show is that, the basic of the show is that you got this little girl, Ollie, and her little cat, Scoops, and she can talk to cats, but no one else can understand cats. So it looks like she's crazy, but in fact, she actually has the ability to talk to cats. And there's this whole underground cat society that lives in a city called California, where she and Scoops will venture to on a pretty regular basis in the episodes that have been aired so far. And they go on their little adventures, and it's really fun to see kind of a dichotomy between the real world, if you will, of Ollie and her school life and the school children and the school teachers that she interacts with, and the underground life of the Cat City. There's actually a specific episode that doesn't even involve Ollie and Scoops at all. It involves one of the extra cats who go on this crazy adventure and meet this like boogeyman-esque figure of a cat that kind of terrorizes them. And it kind of goes to show the ability, the kind of the freedom that Nico Colaleo has in being able to kind of jump back and forth between two settings, essentially in one cartoon. Where, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, in my opinion, I do not believe a normie studio like a Nickelodeon or a Cartoon Network would really allow him that much back and forth jumping without giving some note saying, well, we need to make sure that we meet this minimum amount of quota with these characters because their toys are selling well, and you have to make sure that we get the audience to see those characters so they'll buy the toys. That's a real thing. I live in LA. I have friends in the animation industry. They've told me these things. They will actually make episodes based on toy sales. So seeing someone free of that constraint make episodes that sometimes doesn't even star the main characters in the title is pretty refreshing. It's kind of nice to see what can happen when you're unrestrained, particularly, again, as I said, in a kid's cartoon. Because as we know, with an adult cartoon, you can get away with your bad words and your naughty phrases. And, you know, I believe I've mentioned before that there's kind of a fatigue I feel sometimes in adult animation where it just kind of tends to lean on the fact that it can say bad words and it can talk about the naughty, sexy time and not actually put out a coherent story. And here we have someone who's chosen to make a kid's show an independent thing of all things. And again, yes, I know he made it originally for Nickelodeon, so it does kind of have that origin. And again, mentioning his AMA, he did say that he is actually open to pitch this specifically to Netflix. So this you know, when the great pandemic that seizes our world finally subsides, he does mention that that's the one thing holding him back is what's going on. This is why he hasn't jumped on a pitch yet. Another thing I really want to say real quick is another personal thing that really drew me into this cartoon is the fact that it has Mike Stocklassa and Rich Evans from Red Letter Media as recurring character voices. And like I love Red Letter Media. I love Mike. I love Rich. I love Mr. Plinkett. Oh my God, I love Mr. Plinkett. So seeing whatever I see them involved with a project, I immediately go, okay, this is nice. As a quick aside, my dad, he says that he loves Arnold Schwarzenegger as a character so much that he'll watch a movie if Arnold Schwarzenegger is in it. Like, he doesn't care what kind of movie it is. If it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, he'll watch it. So I feel kind of the same way. If the Red Letter Media guys are involved, I'm game. So yeah, I'm glad Nico Colaleo decided to have those guys on board. So to kind of tail end this ramble of Ollie and Scoops, being an indie project, I always like to reach out to the creator because there's a much greater likelihood that I can actually speak to the creator of an indie project than a big gilded Hollywood project. So, Nico Colaleo, if you are watching this video, first and foremost, I want to say that I greatly admire your initiative to take Ollie and Scoops and make it into a project by yourself. I've never gotten a chance to pitch something myself, but I can understand that it's probably difficult to pitch something, and even though they say, oh, that's great, but we just don't have time for it, it can be kind of disheartening. And other people would just kind of ho-hum it and wait for their prince to come, so to speak, but I greatly respect that you went for it and made this an indie project. It's really entertaining. I love all the guest voices that you have on it. I look forward to you continuing this project and, you know, in whatever form it takes, if you manage to pitch it to Netflix or if it stays independent. I'm glad you were able to make your vision come to fruition. And I look forward to seeing what else you develop with this and possibly other projects you have waiting. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up for today with that. So you people know what to do. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle those sacred buttons. Like video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know what comes next. Also, go ahead and comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you've watched Ollie and Scoops, if you're a fan, if you think it sucks, if you think it's the greatest thing ever, whatever. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts. In addition, of course, go ahead and share this video because it's good for you, good for me, it's good for the environment. It's good for your financial investments. And of course, if you wish to stalk me elsewhere on Interbuts, go ahead and hit up my links here up on the screen as per usual. Particularly, as I always do, Minds.com. I always make sure to pitch Minds because it's one of the new upcoming alternative sites to kind of break up this tech monopoly that we find ourselves under. But yeah, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all stick around, and until next time, dear seals.